Metal Messiah Radio, hanging out at Namm 2016. Gus Rios from the band Gruesome. How the fuck you doing, Gus?
Good, man. Happy to be here. Glad to be chatting with you good folks.
Yeah, it's cool. So this is your first day here, or what's going on?
I was here yesterday. Of course, got into all the festivities last night. Good hangs with a lot of cool drummers. Yeah, this is the meeting place. You either see all your friends here or at like a festival in France somewhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. Because everybody comes to this. This is the hub of metal.
This is the hub of music, but
exactly.
You know, a lot of the musicians that are playing are metal musicians. You know what I mean? Like kind of like metal and country music are like the final frontiers for like a guy playing an instrument. You know what I mean?
Exactly. All right, so big shout outs to Jet from Metal Messiah Radio who set this up.
She rules. She's the greatest.
Rule.
Love you, Jet.
Yeah, love you, Jet. So let's talk about Gruesome. What's new and exciting with Gruesome right now?
Dude, new album coming out.
Cool.
Matt, we got done with that little tour last year.
Right.
And him and I sort of had a chat. And I don't know when is this going to air, because I don't know how much I can say about the record, because Relapse wants to do like a big press release.
It's all right, because Jet knows the whole deal, and she's in contact with the record label. All we want to do is we want to know what you're doing here at Namm. We want to get you some airtime, because fucking cool. LC, the owner of Metal Messiah Radio, fucking loves you guys.
Nice,
it's totally brutal music that you guys do. They air you guys all the time, man.
Nice. So, well, we really, it's like when I think about Gruesome to me is like, it's like a community project, because we're just fans too. And like yesterday walking around, and it's really great, obviously. A lot of people I love the Gruesome record, blah, 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 that record kills. And I can't take all the credit. None of us. Like, all we're doing is preaching the gospel of Chuck, you know what I mean?
There you go. Chuck with death.
He laid the blueprints, and we just follow him pretty good, I guess.
All right, Gus, let's talk about Gruesome as far as the lineup. Tell me about the members and who's all in there and who's doing what.
Well, it started. I was a guest drummer on the DTA tour back in 2013.
Sure.
Matt was the singer on the one before that, and Exhumed did a show with DTA.
Okay.
And I was playing Baptized in Blood, which is a really old school death song.
Oh yeah.
So him and I got hammered and just chatted after the show about how much we love everything old school, because him and I are basically the same age.
Sure.
And then how much we really love the first 3 Death records.
Right.
I was trying to do an old school Leprosy era DTA with me, Matt, Terry Butler, and Rick Ross, but at the time it just didn't work out. And Matt half jokingly was like, why don't we just write our own death songs?
Killer.
Which is a great idea.
Sure.
Oh, fuck yeah, killer. And then it wasn't until about a year almost later that I quit the band I was in. I quit Malevolent.
Yeah.
And we all remember that fiasco.
Malevolent creation.
Killer band.
Yeah.
Killer band. Just some issues there, but still good tune. It's got some of the story is a West Coast story. You know what I mean? Like Green Buddy Gore was recorded in LA.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's although, it is a Florida thing. I got to take credit.
Well, Metal Messiah Radio is based in Florida.
Oh, is it right up?
Yeah. So, very cool.
Where?
Hialeah.
Really?
Yeah. The owner, shout out to LC, brother. Hialeah. He started this radio station.
My backyard.
Dude, you need to party with LC because he fucking loves your band, man.
Dude, totally. I had no idea. I didn't know where it was based. That's cool. Yeah, if you're listening, fine. Look me up. Let's hang out.
They're cool.
Whatever. But
shout out to LC and Jet again.
So then I messaged him and said, hey man, remember your crazy idea? And he sent me a demo of a song that I went, wow, this sounds a lot like what a death song would sound like.
Right.
And then he sent me another one, and that's when I went, dude, we gotta do something. This is really good. I sent it to a couple of friends of mine that I knew were discerning fans, and I was like, yo, am I crazy, or does this stuff sound legit?
Right.
Like, I need a second, third, and fourth opinion on this.
Excellent.
And everybody across the board thought it was like legit. And then I called James Murphy, who's a good buddy of mine. Obviously, you all know who James Murphy is.
Right.
And and I told him about the project. I asked him if he'd do a solo. He's like, yeah, send me the stuff, you know, and here, nobody's heard it yet, really.
Okay.
And here I am sending it to a dude that is a gigantic part of the story that we're trying to tell, so to speak.
Great connection.
And, you know, a lot of, if he would have gotten this, we should probably move because these guys are bring that in. If James Murphy listened to the demo and thought it sucked, we might as well abandon the ship, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But when he called me and was really stoked on what we were doing, I immediately called Matt. I went, dude, James Murphy thinks we're killer. That means we're killer.
Yeah, that's a fucking,
you know what I mean? That was the stamp.
That's a killer endorsement.
So, you know, fast forward, we write a whole record. I get my buddy Daniel from Miami, Daniel Gonzalez, who plays in the band Possessed.
Okay.
He's a fucking killer guitar player, and I'm, you know, plays in Possessed.
Yeah, I've seen
also, which is also part of the death story because, you know, Scream Buddy Gore was basically spraying in blood in 7 churches, mushed up, and it just made more ugly and evil. And, you know, in my opinion, I think that's the first death metal record the world ever saw, in my opinion.
Excellent. Let's take a flip. Let's talk about you and your influences and what kind of gear that you use. Let's talk about Gus Rios now.
Well, Gus Rios got his start in 1987 buying a record from a band called Slayer called Rain and Blood. I was actually playing a little bit of guitar before I got that, so I was like playing Metallica songs. And I was like a little guitar player. Me and my brother were sharing a guitar.
Right.
Then I heard Rain and Blood, and I heard that double bass break on Angel of Death, and I went, dude, I want to be a drummer.
Cool.
Dave Lombardo played Tama drums. So my whole life I wanted to be on that roster. I became a Tama artist in 2010.
Hey man, that's awesome.
I don't play the drums because they pay me to or I get them for free. I play those drums because I think they're the best drums. To me they represent a strong heritage and legacy for what inspired me to play drums.
Do they treat you good at Tama?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm not Lars Ulrich or anything, so it's not like I have drumsticks showing up every day. But you know what, man? For someone in my position, I can't complain. You know what I mean?
That's great. That's great.
And it's a really great name to be associated with. And I love the drums. The new Gruesome record, I use no drum samples at all. 100%. Really how it went down in like 87.
So totally acoustic mics, everything acoustic. That's excellent, dude.
You know, it's just, how are you going to make a record that you're trying to throw back to 87 and then do a bunch of that shit?
Triggering and a lot
it's
of...
just, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that for what we wanted to do, which is to be as authentic as possible, we wanted to use a real drum set. That's it.
Cool. And what studio did you guys
We went to Jared Pritchard to mix our first record.
Okay.
He now has a real studio facility in Orlando.
All right.
Called New Constellation. And it was a cool house with a great room. Drums sounded great in it. And I mean, that's the thing. Like we're getting drum sounds, and even Jared was like, "I'm so stoked that we're gonna use what we're capturing." You know what I mean? Because we took the time and hit each kick drum 20,000 times and each tom and got the mics placed right where they needed to be. Like what you hear is what happened in that recording.
Man, I can't wait to hear it, man. I'm fucking stoked.
Without giving away a lot, I'm sort of saying it, but it's our new record. It's just an EP. It's 6 songs.
Sure.
But we really zeroed in on one particular death era from 1987. Wink, wink.
Excellent.
And it's really ugly. It's, it sounds clean. Like, I guess that would be it sounds like a record made in 1987 with today's more clean production, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can hear everything a little better. But it's still very legit. Okay. Like once again, we had Ed Repkin do the cover. I'll show you the cover real quick. You listeners can't see.
All right.
You guys can't see this.
But I can describe it.
But that's the next album cover.
Who's the who did the whole?
That's Ed Repka again.
Excellent. Fucking look at this, man. The new album. We're getting exclusive with Gus.
You know, I don't know if you remember the cover of the first Death record, but
Of course.
that's kind of a throwback to that, dude.
It's an amalgamation of what.
And I mean, that's the thing we had to have Ed Repka. There was no one else. There was no other option.
Right.
That's the dude that did the first 3 Death covers. If we want people to, like I said earlier, I don't want people to just listen to this and be like, yeah, that sounds like Death. I want them to get the CD or the record, or we're gonna do cassettes again, and like relive a fucking era and time that, in my opinion. And I'm biased, obviously, but I think that was the best time in metal, dude.
Oh, and when you guys put out that record, you're gonna have linear notes inside the record with a lot of what you're telling me right now.
Probably not. The reason not is because I remember buying Scream Bloody Gore on cassette.
Sure.
There was nothing on the inside. There was no information.
Right.
And for me, that added to the mystique of what I was listening to because, remember, this is no internet. There weren't really that many like extreme metal magazines.
Exactly.
I heard about Death because of my buddy that was into Slayer. A few months later, goes, okay, well, I told you about Slayer, but now you got to listen to this shit.
Exactly.
And showed me the album cover, and I went. And I remember, dude, my buddy's headphones. I was in middle school. Put the fucking headphones on, and I heard the Infernal Death, and I just went, dude, that sounds like Satan on himself on vocals. I fucking love it.
Cool.
And you know, if you listen to that record today, and the production sucks, and you can't, but it's got what I think a lot of modern metal records are lacking. Is they're so sterile and perfect, they have no soul or vibe.
Right.
You know, when you listen to Scream Bloody Gore, that's an ugly album. It's like there can be no good feelings.
Right.
And that to me is that was the spirit of guys like Jeff Hanneman. And at first, Chuck obviously progressed.
Right.
Which Gruesome will eventually showcase some of that
I
eventually.
gotta say, rest in peace, Chuck.
Dude.
Rest in peace, Chuck.
Dude,
We think about him all the
You
time.
know what sucks, man, is for me, my 2 biggest heroes in life, Chuck and Jeff.
Wow.
Dude, when Jeff died 2 years ago, I was like, 3 years ago now, almost, I was in a genuine depression because I knew right then and there I was never going to go to a fucking concert that's like 110 dB and yell the word slip.
We're back at Jet's the Metal Magdalene with Jet. Our guest today is Gus Rios here at Namm 2016, hanging out at Tama. What's up, man?
Not man, just taking in the day, making my rounds. I want to give a shout out to not only Tama drums, but Sabian cymbals, Evans drum heads, Vic Firth drumsticks, and Ultimate ears, in-ear monitors.
Excellent.
All those companies make, in my opinion, the best gear. Super great people, and you know, they've always been supportive of me. And you know, anything Gruesome does, I always, you know, I give thanks to those guys because I wouldn't be doing it without, you know what I mean? Like, they provide me with the quality gear to make
all the tools you need to kick ass.
They're my tool providers, exactly.
Gus, I just want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for
coming out. Thank you.
And you know what? We're fucking dying for an exclusive. We can get that when it comes out, when it's available.
Yeah.
Send the tunes to Jet,
you know,
and she'll air it, man. She's airing your stuff all.
I'll sort that out with Relapse. Like I said, I just 2 days ago got that album cover and like the whole layout.
Right.
So once those things get going, we turned in the record in November. It's done.
Okay.
Now we'll probably get a release date in the next week or 2.
Excellent.
Probably a single.
Fucking looking forward to it. Shout out some of your websites and stuff. Where do we get Gruesome?
Just Gruesome Death Metal. If you just Google Gruesome Death Metal,
Right.
or Gruesome Savage Land, or Gruesome Relapse Records, you know, all that stuff comes up. You can get the merch all over the place. I know Relapse has a t-shirt T-shirts, they have vinyl, they have CDs. Cassettes were sold out, but we got a new record coming out. So, and fucking, I appreciate every last one of you motherfuckers that actually bought that record, straight up.
Excellent.
I know you can get it for fucking free. You supported a metal band, and really you're supporting Chuck because Relapse owns that catalog too. So
Very good. Hey, fuckers out there, support Gruesome. Buy the records. Go to where Gus just pointed us. Thanks again, brother.
thank you, man.
Great talking to you.
All right.